This message is for my brothers and sisters from the U.S. Caribbean. If you miss the year of return to go to Ghana, don't worry. The president of Kenya, President William Ruto, is giving you lifetime free visa to enter Kenya, meaning every black person is welcome to Kenya. And he says it clear, Kenya is your home. It's the cradle of humanity. So no more excuses. You have a second option. Come to Africa.
I wanted to show you guys this video of Simeon Toko in hopes that you will begin to remember who you are, for you to understand how much powerful you are than what they have made you to believe. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video.
I wanted to do a video on a guy named Simeon Toko right quick. I've seen a few videos on him on TikTok, but I feel like he's not spoken about enough. And his story is literally top secret. The CIA, the cabal, all of them do not want nobody knowing about him. Okay, so basically he was born in 1918, and throughout the years, he literally was doing things that the Messiah was. He was performing miracles, doing stuff like that, you know. And basically the cabal, Fatima, you know, the elites tried to come down and kill him multiple times. This photo right here that I'm showing you, they literally cut out his heart one time after killing him, tried to do a diagram on it as to why he's always coming back to life. And he literally came back to life as they were doing it and asked them why did they have his heart. There was a time where he was on helicopters and literally told the helicopter to stop, and the helicopter stopped. It didn't go back, it didn't fall, it just literally froze up in the sky. Even when he was down in the Congos, he had a ministry to himself that was devoted to him, literally. Matter of fact, I got a tape recording of somebody actually going into detail on how he literally was refusing to die and chose to die. Literally, he chose to die. I'm about to roll it right now.
Enjoying very much.
Thanks.
And one of the chapters was Nikola Tesla, the Pete Peterson and Nikola Tesla Black Ops.
Yep.
One of them is about Black Jesus, where there's a ascended being appearing in Africa.
Yep.
And I just want to know if you know any more information you would share with us.
Yeah. The Black Jesus story. The Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider, Jacob, I call him that in the book, who actually was working for the Rothschilds and still does, and also is a whistleblower who doesn't really do what they want but continues to work for them because he feels like there's some very serious extraterrestrial threats to Earth and that what they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to kill him, and, you know, they could shoot him in the head and his skull would just regenerate and the flesh would grow back, and he was fine. The crazy story that I heard, and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed, and I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, you know, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, you know, I you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Now, obviously, this is someone who was very tapped into self and understood how powerful he was and how capable of doing these things he actually was. See, we need to understand that so a man thinketh, so he shall become. You have to believe that you're capable of doing these things in order to be able to tap into it. See, when you hear the story of Jesus and him running around and telling everybody, you could do the things I've done and more, if only you believe, this is an equivalent to that, all right? Now, I've actually heard this story before, but I didn't think that it was it was pertaining to Simeon Toko. That'll be something that I have to look into for myself. But this is a prime example of what you're capable of. And with that being said, I want to leave you guys as I can. I want you guys to always be aware, because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashe.
Come on now, why nobody ain't never said nothing about this? If you get food stamps, you can get your passport for free. What? So my whole life, I could have been had a free passport. Get the fuck out of here. And I know that it's facts and it's real because I hit that link. Now let me show y'all. When you hit that link, it take you right here. Most definitely. It say I-912, request for a fee waiver. It say use this form to request a fee waiver or submit a written request for certain immigration forms and services based on the demonstrated inability to pay. For the list of the forms and services that are eligible for a fee waiver, see the list below or go on our fee waiver page. Yassa. You know I already had to click on the form, and this is what it take me to right here. It's 11 pages. It's 11 simple ass pages. Ain't even about how much passports is or nothing like that. This shit for free. For free? I'm finna go and ask my mama, my granny, my aunties. I need to go and ask them a couple questions right now. Because of why the fuck this generation freaking out everything and spilling all of the beans, and these motherfuckers don't know.
This video should creep every single person out that watches it. We cannot sit back and let this become the norm. If you have children walking on this planet right now, we do not want to leave this, the direction that this is going in, we do not want to leave this to them. So I encourage all of you, every adult, every parent, speak, shout, scream, whatever. Let people become more aware of this, and let's stand up to this.
מדפסת תעשייתית שפיתחנו, שמיועדת להחליף משחטה. לשאלתך לפני כן, פה אנחנו טוענים את המדפסת הזו בתאי גזע, שאנחנו יודעים למיין לשריר ולשומן, והיא יודעת להדפיס טונות ביום. טונות? טונות של בשר מתורבת ביום. זה רק לשם ההמחשה, אתה תוכל לבחור את הסטייק שלך, והמדפסת תתחיל לשחרר סטייקים בקצב תעשייתי. סיריליון, לא יודע אם אתה אוהב יותר שומן או פחות שומן. כך באמצע. view order, slide to print. ופה בעצם המדפסת מתחילה לייצר סטייקים. סטייקים, הייחודיות פה היא שתאי הגזע נשארים חיים אחרי שהם מודפסים. סטייק יהיה מוכן בסביב הדקה. דקה. השלב פה הוא שווה ערך לשלב שבו הפרה נולדת בעצם. הפרה לוקח 2 עד שהיא נשחטת, היא מזהמת את העולם בתהליך. פה זה תהליך שהוא הרבה יותר קצר.
בלי שטח, בלי מים ובלי
בלי שטח, בלי מים, בלי חתימה פחמנית. בלי פלטות ובלי כלום.
איפה הסטייק?
הסטייק עכשיו מודפס, ועכשיו אנחנו נעבור
זה המקדונלדס של העתיד.
כן, זה המקדונלדס, זו הקצבייה והמשחטה של העתיד.
פאסט פוד.
וההפתעה פה בעצם, אנחנו משיקים היום גם את המדפסת הזו, שהיא סמי תעשייתית. ובואו נעבור למדפסת השנייה, שזה השקה העולמית שלנו, שמדפיסה דג. פה זו מדפסת שמדפיסה מוצר שהוא מוכן לטיגון, מה שנקרא ready to cook. מכיל תאים אמיתיים. אנחנו מדפיסים בו בעצם פילה לוקוס,
אין עוד חברה שיודעת לעשות דבר כזה. מכיל תאים אמיתיים, כ3 דקות להדפסה, לוקוס עם טקסטורה מורכבת. עכשיו אני אסגור אותה ונראה לכם כבר את זה מוכן. תן לה להדפיס, ככה זה נראה. ואנחנו נטעם את זה עוד רגע. מילה לוקוס מתורבת, שהודפס מבלי בעצם להשתמש בלג עצמו.
זה מוכן עכשיו.
פעם ראשונה בעולם שדבר כזה קורה.
אני אומר ככה עכשיו, מה? טוב,
אפשר להמשיך, זה טעים.
We'll wait for the cops together. Because technically, I can play my music until 9 o'clock. Read your lease.
Then go ahead and do it.
Then don't have nobody knocking on my goddamn door.
When your music is...
I don't give a shit. You got music.
It's not
Let me tell you something. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. I don't give a shit about Jody. She don't have nothing to do with this. I'm talking about you.
I don't want to hear your music right now.
I don't want to hear you. Don't have nobody knock on my goddamn door no more. Do you understand?
Oh my God.
Do you understand? Or I'm gonna fuck you up on sight. You understand that? Tell the cops that. You knocked on my fucking door. Mike on my ass. You so goddamn bad?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well then don't have nobody knock on my fucking door no more. Do you understand? I'll punch you right in your fucking face. Do you understand? Call Michael. Call Michael. Call him. Get on my ass. Get on my ass.
Your dreams are no longer safe.
How about this? Can we go from the patterns of your brain when you're looking at an image to reconstructing the image? So the way this worked was they put human beings inside an fMRI machine. They had them look at images and figure out what the patterns are, like translate from image to brain patterns. And then of course they would hide the image. So this is a image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. Now, to get state of the art, here's where the combinatorial aspects, why you can start to see these are all the same demo. To do this kind of imaging, the latest paper, the one that happened even after this, which is already better, uses stable diffusion, uses the thing that you use to make art. Like, what should a thing that you use to make art have anything to do with reading your brain? But of course it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself in your own mind? Mind you, by the way, when you dream, like your visual cortex runs in reverse, so your dreams are no longer safe. But we'll try this. So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts, are starting to be decoded. Yeah. Just think about what this means for authoritarian states, for instance. Or if you want to generate images that maximally activate your pleasure sensor, anything else. Okay, but let's keep going, right? To really get the sense of the combinatorics of this. How about, can we go from Wi-Fi radio signals, sort of like the Wi-Fi routers in your house, they're bouncing off radio signals that work sort of like sonar. Can you go from that to where human beings are to images? So what they did is they had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct. Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings. But, luckily, that would require hacking Wi-Fi routers to be able to do something with that. But how about this? computer code, that's just a type of language. So you can say, and this is a real example that I tried, GPT, find me a security vulnerability, then write some code to exploit it.